So on behalf of our board of directors and our staff, I want to thank you for joining us for our first virtual event. There's no place like home, where we take you through our journey over the past 2 years as our volunteers, partners, donors, board and staff were able to work together to fulfill our mission as we navigated through the pandemic. Then 4 of our homeowners will tell you in their own words about their experiences and stories. Andrew Demont, who's the chair of Rebuilding Together's board of directors, will then share our future plans with you, and then we'll finally answer some of your questions. So all of us, our whole lives changed in March 2020, and it was the beginning of a dramatic change for all of us. As the pandemic unfolded, we had to figure out how to serve the people who needed us the most, while keeping our homeowners, our volunteers, and our staff safe. So after a 4-month hiatus, we developed a framework to restart our project activities, including how we select homes, manage our volunteers, determine our work scopes, while still reducing the risk of COVID exposures. From the start, we knew we needed to be flexible in our planning, adapt to the rapidly changing environment, and build momentum to address the growing and pressing need in our community. Okay. We targeted delivery of services that would focus on repairs and modifications for homeowners who were severely impacted by the pandemic because of their age, disability, limited income, and focused on repairs that would have an immediate impact on their safety and well-being. The vast majority of the 89 projects completed the first year were completed through our RT Express delivery system, which mobilizes 4 to 5 volunteers who complete half-day projects that target 36 common health and safety repairs to help seniors safely age in place. We also discovered an urgent need for Rebuilding Together to help some homeowners who struggle to get upstairs to the only full bathroom or bedrooms by installing electric stair lifts. One of our skilled and talented volunteers, Lou Wood, developed a process to ensure that donated lifts were in good working order and could safely be reused. In addition, Rebuilding Together continued to build wooden wheelchair ramps and install metal ramps to ensure access for people with disabilities and mobility issues to safely leave and enter their homes. Amazingly, the first year, the bulk of all repairs were completed by 52 community members who regularly volunteered their time and talents and were led by 6 of our RT Express team leaders and our staff. Those Rebuilding Together Express team leaders were recognized by Volunteer Fairfax as Social Advocacy Group of the Year in 2021. And Bill Marshall, the guy up there on the left, who's also a Rebuilding Together board member, was recognized as RSVP Senior Volunteer of the Year in Arlington. Over the past 2 years, we've been faced with some extremely challenging projects that we could simply not turn away from. Such was the case when we received a call that a family whose twin boys were unable to access their bathroom using their wheelchairs to wash their face, take a shower, and simply brush their teeth couldn't get into the bathroom. A total of 21 of our skilled volunteers worked tirelessly over 7 days to expand the footprint of the bathroom and make it accessible for those young boys. From time to time, we have been fortunate to receive grants from corporations like Wells Fargo and Lowe's, which allow us to make more extensive repairs and hire contractors. Such was the case when we were able to repair the roofs of 3 mobile homes, ensuring the homeowners were protected from the elements this winter. One of those homeowners who has chronic health problems didn't have a working kitchen. in her mobile home. She actually washed her dishes in her bathroom sink and only was able to use a microwave or an air fryer to cook her food. Among a host of projects our volunteers did, they installed kitchen cabinets and countertops, finally a sink with a garbage disposal, a new range that properly vented outside. This was all for a woman who volunteered to prepare meals for other people in the senior center. Finally, in October 2021, we were delighted that 10 of our longtime faith and corporate partners and a group of individual volunteers joined us for group projects for our first fall rebuilding day. Re-engaging larger groups of volunteers allowed us to tackle a greater variety of repairs and modifications at a larger scale. Dell Women in Action also hosted our first She Build, where a group of women assisted a single mother of 2 with a lot of needed repairs. And then in April, after missing 2 national rebuilding days, our annual signature event, our partners joined us to make repairs and home modifications on the homes of 17 low-income homeowners and nonprofits. Our volunteers were enthusiastic and excited to be out in the community once again and focused on accomplishing an amazing amount of work. By the end of this fiscal year, this June, we will have assisted 112 low-income homeowners and nonprofits, with the majority of our clients being over the age of 65, more than half having a disability, living in older housing, and disproportionately people of color. The bottom line is that with the persistence, flexibility, and unflappable commitment of our volunteers, partners, and staff, we completed repairs for hundreds of seniors, persons with disabilities, and families with children with very, very little resources. In fact, less resources than we've ever had in a very long time. We did this because they were living with hazards that were affecting their safety, health, and emotional well-being. We are extremely grateful to you for joining us today for all the support, guidance, and involvement that helped us navigate through the pandemic. We'd like to thank our foundations and corporations who have partnered with us over the past 2 years, as well as Arlington and Fairfax counties. And a very, very special thank you to our loyal and longtime partners from our faith-based groups and other nonprofits who have worked on projects and provided funding to make our mission possible. We are honored that 4 of our beloved homeowners agreed to share their stories and experiences with you in the following video. I will tell you to listen carefully because we had to record it outside to make sure that we were being safe. So you're going to hear a lot of birds chirping. So here we go, and we will start the video now.
Well, my husband and I, along with our 3 children, moved here in 1996, so we're kind of the old people of the neighborhood now.
Oh, I've lived here 30 years.
More than 30.
Might be more because I gave just and lived here.
So I was concerned about falling in the bathroom mainly because I have a back issue and I have AFib. And I fell in the basement about 2-3 years ago.
I knew it existed because a friend of mine long ago gave me a little, she said, why don't you try? So I did, and that was 5 years ago.
I've been hoping and praying that somebody will fix it, because the county came with a guy who says, listen, if you don't do this and this and this, they give me a list. We're going to send you out. You're going to lose your house. I said, why?
I'd been told about it by my sister, who saw an ad in Craigslist, and they were trying to give away a refrigerator to someone who needed it. And she said, "What is this Rebuilding Together thing?" And I said, "I don't know." So we looked it up and just saw that there was a program. And I thought, wow, that's something that is really necessary, and it's a really good idea.
I have problems with arthritis. I hardly can do much. So, also with vertigo. And so I could not wait, for somebody to come and help me.
I've been using the shower upstairs, and it really didn't have any good support in case I fell again. So we asked them to put a grab bar in there.
My wife, for the last 2 years, been on the bed. Almost lost it twice in 2 years and plus. And I quit my job on the December 17th because there's nobody here to help. My wife can go to the bathroom. I had to leave her bath towel, And I had to change her 3 times a day. And that's just, a big job. Yeah, I don't care. She's my wife. 45 years with her. And knowing that I almost lost it, I want to help more.
When we saw that it was available, we went ahead and applied, and we're surprised how fast Fritz got back to us. And then, they said, "Okay, we're going to set you up," because I guess we're approved. When they came through, they noticed things in our house that we didn't even notice that needed to be repaired, fixed, or safety issues. And then they gave it to Oscar, who was with King of Kings, and he coordinated the volunteers to come out on April 30th. We had probably 18 or 19 volunteers show up, and they did everything from trimming the tree right there to this railing. I've fallen before and it wasn't fun. To installing the storm door, to putting railings up all the way to the 3rd floor of my house, to putting a new cabinet in the bathroom because there was mold in there. They did some mold remediation.
They arrived, they solved the problem, and they got into it right away. The things that they focused to fix, it was like closing these windows that at night I could hardly close them anymore.
Actually, Bob, that. And he came in with a crew, and in one day, they fixed just about everything.
The railing in the backyard on the back steps needed to be fixed. It had broken down at the bottom, and they fixed that.
They painted the kitchen. They did a lot of stuff that took 3 days to finish, and there were only 2 people.
They did ceiling work where there had been water damage. They went in the backyard and cleaned that all up, painted a door, fixed the sliding glass door.
They had to fix the 3 toilets with the new toilets. They fixed it. Now they're okay. But at that time, one was leaking and only one was working. The other one didn't work at all. So they'll fix all that.
It was the dryer. I didn't know that it was not correct. And I didn't know that it could have done something that we didn't want to happen.
I did a grab bar in the bathroom upstairs because I have a back issue, and so that they put in a much nicer one for us. And the railings, and then they added like a kitchen countertop to a butcher block that we have to give us a little bit more room.
That's the hole that my grandkids made during the last 2 years they've been here. I mean, they don't live here, but they come here on the weekend.
Dot was on his little car. Is that his car? He kept coming, that little car kept coming in and out, in and out, in and out. And it was because if something didn't work with this material, he had to run and get what he needed. So, and he would come quickly, so the volunteers, they don't have no wait time or anything. It was just...
So, I mean, it was just so much work that got done. Everybody was really sweet. They were very, very respectful, not only of our home, but also of our feelings.
But by the time we were patching the holes, we found a lot of toys inside. They were putting their toys, they hiding their toys there from each other. So
Definitely, the work they have done had helped me. It's gonna help me for who knows.
It used to be that I could do a lot of work around here, and as my cousin from Oklahoma would say, I used to could do all of this, and I can't now. It's a program that has got me going, getting more things done. In fact, my sister who lives in California and I have organized the family on a weekend in mid-July. Everybody's coming over with paintbrushes and we're going to paint the house.
this weekend I'm going to bring some friends to help me paint because all the patches are covered.
But we realized that when you get 7 or 8 people or 9 people or whatever together, you can get so much more done than you can with just 1 person or 2 people trying on weekends or whatever.
And my grandkids know that if any of them make another hole, they won't come here anymore, so they don't do it.
I mean, it's really motivated me to do more work around here and to keep things up and to notice what needs to be done.
Well, if they need a little help, if I can give it, I will try to help them.
The best thing, my son, as I said, was here that day, my middle son. And he's never been what you might call handy. I mean, he tries, but now he's a homeowner now. And while they were here, they taught him to spackle. They taught him to do drywall on the ceiling. They were teaching people, okay, this is how you do it, now you do it. And so the people that were here were not only learning and doing for themselves, but now they can take that skill to the next place. And it was fabulous to watch all of that.
They are welcome to come back anytime they want to come by when they want to.
If I mention it to people, they say, what? And they want to know more because it's a very unusual way of helping each other, really.
I want to thank you, Building Together, for all this effort they've done to fix the house in a proper way so you can live better. I don't think without them, people that is in need, they won't be able to do that. So thank you very much to all of you.
I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the donors. I want to thank the volunteers. And I would love to invite them to have some coffee with me one day. Thank you.
So stories like those are the reason that I got involved with Rebuilding Together. And I'm sure many of you participating today feel the same way. Hi, everyone. For those of you I haven't met, my name is Andrew Dumont, and I'm the chair of the board of directors of Rebuilding Together Arlington Fairfax Falls Church. On behalf of my fellow board members, I want to thank each and every one of you for all you do to support our wonderful organization. Whether you're one of our dedicated volunteers, one of our funders, one of our community partners, or one of our clients, your partnership makes it possible for us to support our community in all the ways Patty mentioned earlier. And what an incredible list of achievements that was. But we're not done yet. If anything, the need in our region for safe and healthy housing repairs and modifications has only grown in recent years, especially given 3 recent trends. Those being the deferral of home maintenance by some, primarily low-income and vulnerable homeowners during the pandemic, the upward pressure inflation is putting on the cost of making repairs, and the way the recent housing boom has affected available home repair and modification capacity in the region. As a result, we're committed to not simply returning to our pre-pandemic normal, but to expanding our efforts to meet these critical needs in our communities. I want to briefly walk through a few of the ways we plan to do so in the coming months and years. Now, first, as many of you may know, and as Patty mentioned earlier, we coordinated our first fall rebuilding day in October last year. That was such a resounding success, and we received such great feedback from our teams. We've decided to carry this forward and host 2 rebuilding days each year. National Rebuilding Day, our annual signature event the last weekend in April, and one in October, which this year will take place on October 1st. If you're interested in organizing a team or volunteering as an individual for our Fall Rebuilding Day this year, please reach out to our wonderful staff and they'll get you set up. However, we also know that despite their best intentions and the great skill of some of our volunteers, we know there are some things that are just best left to paid professionals, including things like roof replacements, major plumbing and electrical repairs, and the replacement or repair of heating and air conditioning systems. However, this is a huge need that we see all the time, and unfortunately are rarely able to address given the significant cost of doing so. While we occasionally get special funding to help a handful of clients with these deeper repairs, for which we are deeply grateful, in the past, it simply has not been enough to keep up with demand. Therefore, our second initiative that I want to highlight is to deepen our commitment to identifying and securing additional financial resources and strategic partnerships to address these larger and more complex repairs. We can't do this without your support. So please reach out to Patty, the other Rebuilding Together staff, or any of the RT board members if you're interested in stepping up and being a part of the solution to this critical need. And the last initiative I want to highlight is a pilot project we recently undertook to address accessibility modifications and fall prevention for low-income renters. As many of you probably know, Rebuilding Together Arlington Fairfax Falls Church has in the past traditionally served only low-income homeowners, along with various nonprofit partners. However, we recognize that many of our region's most vulnerable community members are renters, including a disproportionate share of the people of color living in our region. While we're doing an amazing job serving the low-income homeowners of color in our region, a track record that we are very proud of, we recognize that to truly live our commitment to equity and inclusion, we must also serve the critical accessibility needs of our low-income renters. Now we're starting slow and learning as we go, but we're committed to building out this area of work in the coming years. Again, please reach out if you're interested in supporting our expansion into this new line of work. And while we have many other efforts underway to expand our impact in the community, in the interest of time, we'll have to leave it there. But I want to close my remarks here by noting that the board of Rebuilding Together Arlington Fairfax Falls Church and its staff are always open to meeting new partners, discussing new opportunities, and thinking outside the box if that will allow us to advance our mission. Now, one example of our openness to new ways of doing business is a video we recently posted on YouTube that helps explain to homeowners how they can check their home for common health and safety hazards, and really empowering them to take control and identify those and easy, cost-effective solutions to those common hazards. So please reach out anytime if you know of a business, a faith-based organization, foundation, friend, or family member we should be talking to for new service opportunities or to meet new clients, volunteers, partners, or funders. Again, I want to thank you all very much for everything you do to make our work possible. And I believe we're at the end of our time, but if there's one or two quick questions or comments, Patty and I are happy to take those at this time.
And just unmute yourself if you have a question.
I don't see any questions in the chat, just so you know.
Yep. Well, I just wanted to make one additional announcement. We did receive word that Pat Hupalo, who is lives in Arlington and a longtime volunteer with us, will be recognized by Arlington Volunteer as Senior Volunteer of the Year this year. So it says a lot that our volunteers are recognized over and over and over again throughout both counties. It shows what an amazing amount of work we have been doing.
We are incredibly honored and grateful and proud of our volunteers. I know many of whom are on the meeting today. So I just want to again say thank you so much for everything that you do. Our work and the positive effect that we have in our communities would not be possible without you. And many of you who are our volunteers are also our supporters financially, and we wouldn't be able to do this work without that as well. So thank you so much for that.
And one last note, we will make this recording available to you. We will also share the link to the video that you just saw with our wonderful homeowners, and then also the YouTube video that you could share with anybody who wants to address critical repairs in their home as well. So we'll be sending that out within the day. Thank you.
And thank you so much. I know we're at the end of our time, and that many of you have jobs to get to, but we appreciate you carving out the time to come and listen to this update about what we've accomplished and what we hope to do going forward. So thanks so much for your partnership, and have a great day, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.